Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and while I am still working on my Toy Fair videos, today we're finally going to get a chance to look at what is colloquially known as Bakugan Battle Planet Wave 1.5. It's called 1.5 because while the characters are still printed on the collector's rulebook for Wave 1, they were not packed in the first wave of sets. And since I'm on the East Coast, getting these things has been a real pain in the butt. I actually had to order this thing online, and it only just now arrived, but it's a doozy. This is Bakugan Ventus Trox Ultra. Trox Ultra, this is a truly gorgeous Bakugan I'm looking here. Unlike the original Trox, which is just a tiny little Pac-Man guy, this guy is a very big boy who actually looks like a freaking dinosaur. So I am very excited to get this open and take a look at this. I mean, I can see a lot of the detail. I can see how they've, again, made very good use of color to help it pop. I can, we have the nice big head, although I think it might be actually kind of fun if they brought back like the reverse color scheme, if they did like a reverse darkest, so it would be like all purple all over. That might be fun. Anyways, taking a look at the packaging here, we of course have an image of Trox Ultra. As an Ultra Bakugan, we get the character portrait on it, and on the back here we have a picture of him. Complexity level 2, comes with 2 cores, and shows a bit of the other instructions and some more of the stuff we can get. We have Cindeus Ultra, Cricalius Ultra, Pyrus Garganoid Ultra, and Darkus Nilius Ultra. So these are more Bakugan that are considered to be part of Wave 1.5. But this, I'd say, is definitely the highlight. Actually, it looks a little bit different. You see here, he's got a dark green jaw here, but on the actual toy, it has a light green jaw. And I have to say, I prefer the manufactured method. Having that light green jaw really gives it another lovely little splash of color that just helps improve it. So let's get this thing open. And here we have our curled up Trox Ultra along with its 2 cards here. And despite the fact that I did not get a Diamond Trox Ultra, it still came with the Diamond Trox Ultra card, which upon further inspection actually seems to be one of the few diamond cards that's actually viable, because a 1408 for just 5, that's a pretty serious beater. You have to be getting into the realm of like activated Titan Dragonoid to really beat that. But one thing that makes it better is I did not know about Ultra Trox's ability. Victor, you may energize a card from your hand uncharged. So basically, if you win with Trox Ultra, you ramp 1. So the idea is you ramp maybe once or twice with Trox Ultra and then evolve it into Diamond long before your opponent has anything good that can respond to it. So this is actually an example of a decent diamond card. The problem is, of course, Trox Ultra's incredibly terrible stats of 301. So 300 is incredibly low. The 1 damage isn't really what you're concerned with when you're attacking with Trox Ultra, but at 300, he's gonna need some help getting to actually that actual victory state. Fortunately, there's a Ventus card called Nature's Power, which hits any non-Ventus Bakugan for -500. And there are a couple of strategies that you can use to set up Trox Ultra, but this is a really, really good card. It basically has the ability of Diamond Trox Regular without any of the penalties. Now let's take a look at the marble form here. Oof, man, this thing has a lot of really big bulges on it. Although a video by an old acquaintance of mine named Jet Kuso pointed out that probably the biggest reason that these big bulges that I call Alto Brontes disease were such a problem in the original game is that it made the Bakugan impossible to roll. And in this case, they're very clearly making sure that they keep these bumps out of the way of the central tire mechanism that all Ultra Bakugan have in order to allow it to roll more smoothly. So I admit that maybe I blew these design elements out of proportion when I talked about them on my proper toy review, although it doesn't necessarily excuse that big old chunk right there. Although, based on how the arrow is, it's supposed to roll in such a way that it actually overcomes that bump right there. And this guy has probably the largest landing plate of any Bakugan I have ever seen. That is massive. That's like larger than a lot of the stuff they did for Gundalian Invaders. It is a very large capture plate that's right on the bottom of its head, although I can't help but feel like maybe this guy isn't closing as flush as it ought to be. I wonder if I'm doing something wrong. No, I guess not. I tried to reclose it again, but that's about as good as it's gonna get. I mean, I can tell what they were intending to do, but maybe mine was a little bit of a quality control issue. Oh, well, it still rolls fine, and speaking of which, let's see how that looks. Okay, I've been terrible at these in the past, so how did Jet Kuso say to do it? And there we go, Trox Ultra. Even managed to get him to stand up properly. I'm getting better at this, folks. And as you can see, he picks up the core, in this case, with his mighty chin. I like to think of it as him chomping down on it and picking him up in his mighty Tyrannosaurus jaws. So anyway, there is a little bit of extra transformation necessary for Trox Ultra. He's also pretty good at doing the worm. Go Trox, go Trox. Okay. So he has his little arms that flip out there. It's a very, very flexible design with how he looks here. And now we can finally get a look at his detail. Just look at this. This thing, I knew it. When I called it out in my big toy review video, I knew it when I called this thing out to be a true beauty. And boy, howdy is it ever. It actually looks totally like a dinosaur. It looks like the little mini Trox they have in the cartoon show. This is just all around way better than friggin' Pac-Man over here, and it's actually even larger. It's way bigger than Pac-Man. My gosh, this thing is just a treat. It's a treat for the eyes. It's a treat to roll open. It's a very big boy, very big Tyrannosaurus Rex head. This is very impressive. Spin Master has outdone themselves with Trox. Anyway, we're taking a look at a lot of the color here. He is, of course, the same base green that all Ventus Bakugan are. He is also colored with a lot of the sort of lighter, more citrusy lime green, which actually, thanks to the different color value, pops extremely nicely against the slightly bluish, the slightly teal green that the plastic is made out of. And of course, it is punctuated by little dots of yellow, which just absolutely just explode off of this design. We have lots of lovely detail. We have some lovely additional detail in the legs. We have all of the teeth, which are sculpted. Are the eyes custom sculpted? Not quite. Its jaws aren't open the way the regular Trox is, but it's got this nice, mean snarl here that just looks so lovely. I love this thing. It's very stable too, and what it does is it actually has like very flexible legs. Like as I showed you before, he can also, you know, lie on his belly like an alligator. He can do T-Rex push-ups. 1, 2. Not easy to do those with those tiny little arms, but yeah, this guy is great. I love him. I think he's probably going to go into a deck that I'm working on. Yes, I'm going to make my first deck profile coming up soon. Look forward to that. But yeah, this thing is a beauty. It's even got the little the up arrow that tells you how it's supposed to launch is like right there on its chest. It's just such a lovely design. If you can get this in your collection, I highly recommend it. As you know, it's easily one of the best Bakugan released so far, although we have yet to see the likes of Dragonoid Ultra and Pegatrix Ultra. Pegatrix Ultra just looks amazing. And you know, they're really going all out with these Ultras. Like I said, these are the ones aimed more at collectors, and I believe I don't really need to explain why that might be. Anyway, and finally, let's wrap this big boy up. A big reason why this guy, despite his amazing size, is able to jump so high off the ground and actually stand up is because his legs, when you close them here, they both share the same axle, actually curl nearly all the way around the body. Fold down those arms. They nearly curl all the way around the body, which is where all that springiness comes from. Now it looks like a Tsuchinoko or something. But then the tail comes around, and like the tail tip goes into a little hole there. Then around comes the head, and there you go. So, yeah, that's a look at Trox Ultra there. Definitely a recommended Bakugan. Trying to do the thing where I actually throw the gizmo into there. Definitely helps to get some speed on him when you're rolling to make him stand. But yes, this, like I said, outstanding job from Spin Master. This is something that I feel is a must-have for every collection and whatever attribute you get it in. I really hope it comes out in Chaos because, again, Chaos is my favorite attribute, and that would work really nicely for me. But there are still a lot of Bakugan to come. I now know that Ultra Dragonoid is going to be in Chaos. I'm very excited for that. I've seen Ultra Pegatrix, Ultra Hydronoid. There are a lot of really good things coming, and you can bet there's going to be a video about it from Toy Fair coming in the near future, and definitely going to be looking at that product when it comes out. I finally figured out why Spin Master was giving me the cold shoulder, and that problem has been resolved. So, until next time, this is Kohdok signing off. Bakugan
ones, powers in our hand, take a stand.